Y me llama el cocinero. Risita, ¿qué? Ve por la paellera. Venga, que a las 2 de la tarde ya están aquí. Mira, en bañador, en las chanclas. Todo despeinado porque no me dio tiempo nada ponerme las chanclas y el bañador. Voy a la playa, había subido la marea. Eso. Eso. Había subido la marea y encontré una paella.
GM and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're looking at Eigen Layer, who have seemingly dropped the ball here. Going to look at the tokenomics and what has unfolded, because a lot of people are very disgruntled with this one, myself included, to be honest with you. So if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and let's jump in. So we'll start here on DeFi Llama just to set this scene here. So you can see these are the biggest TVL, total value locked protocols in DeFi. You got Lido number 1, synonymous with ETH staking. So that has a TVL of $28 billion. So $28 billion worth of Ethereum is stuck in Lido. We then have Eigen Layer coming in at number 2. So the second biggest protocol by TVL, $14 billion, half as much as Lido there. So super interesting to lock that much TVL. This is obviously highly anticipated. It's obviously a protocol that people are expecting can garner big yields for them. And the restaking narrative has been highly, highly anticipated. And I think this is the reason why this is seemingly such a flop. There's been a huge build up to this one. A lot of people have been farming it, expecting big things. And it seems like we've been poked in the eye as it comes to the token details, which we'll jump into. Now, something to watch here over the coming week is this TVL numbers in here. So if we come back in a week's time, I expect this to be down, as it does take 1 week to unstake from the Eigen DApp itself. So if you've recently decided to unstake your tokens, you've got to wait 7 full days, and I expect this TVL to drop off. Now, bear in mind, the TVL is a key driver for the valuation of this token. Remember that. Everything in crypto is about what people are doing with their money. If I come and place my money with your protocol, I'm adding value to that protocol. And also people who are investing in it at seed round are saying, look, this protocol's got a huge amount of TVL. It's going to generate loads of revenue. Then that actually bumps up the valuation of said company. But what people fail to forget is the fact that it's very easy to move your money in crypto. And so if you don't look after the degens who are actually using your protocols, I think you're going to find yourself in a sticky situation. Now, the Eigen token itself. So this is from the Bankless article on this one. Now, the words used within just everything surrounding Eigen is just so highbrow. I think it really misses the mark of the audience in crypto. So listen to this. Upon launch, the Eigen token will be imbued with intrinsic utility, enabling recipients to stake their tokens to secure the Eigen DA network. Additionally, there is potential for further integration of Eigen staking should other AVSs opt to include Eigen and any other tokens as eligible staking collateral to secure their network. So what we get from this is Eigen DA data availability is kind of the first product going live. And so as product number 1, you're starting to see that staking the Eigen token is going to allow you access presumably to some of the rewards from the users of Eigen's DA layer. So if you don't know what data availability is, I would suggest going to look at Celestia and what they've done. I've done a deep dive video on that on the Blockmates channel if you want to check that out for more details. But we get the fact here that Eigen is going to be a staking token. And as a result, we'll stake it and we'll get some rewards. It's also at the core of their tokenomics. There will be governance mechanism facilitating intersubjective forking that allows token holders to challenge incorrect slashing behaviors that cannot be objectively identified on chain, but for which reasonable observers would agree that a penalty is warranted. So what I'm reading in from that is it's going to have some security mechanic as well, and tokens can be slashed if there is kind of misuse on the network. Now, in dropping the details around the token, they dropped a full paper here, which is many tens of pages long, and the paper titled Eigen, the Universal Intersubjective Work Token. And I'm still not sure what intersubjective actually means, but they really have missed the mark with their audience, I would suggest. And if you just type in tokenomics, To your dismay, you will see you get 0 results, unfortunately, from this paper. So what the heck does the token actually do? So how are you allocating the tokens? How have we who have been farming the protocol actually going to get some tokens? Well, before we get into the shithousery around this one, I think this is a key piece. The fact that A16Z were the solo Series B investors here, injecting an additional $100 million into Eigen Layer. The Series B round is double what the firm raised a year prior. So there was a Series A at 50 mil, and then A16Z comes in with 100 mil here, and that is in February of 2024. So this may be one of the reasons why we're seeing some craziness here. This is the CTO of Eigen. Meme coins, he says, alter how the public, regulators, and entrepreneurs see crypto. This deeply affects adoption, regulations, laws, and builder behavior. I see the damage every day from these meme coins, and you should too, i.e. buy my bags. So the thing is here, you have A16Z coming in and taking up a substantial amount of the seed for Eigen. So they're going to have a load of Eigen tokens, as you can see from this here. Early contributors and investors, 25.5 and 29.5% respectively of the 1.67 billion tokens. That's the total supply. And then community getting a stake drop, of which this is comprised of 15%, 15%, and 15% here. But the stake drop includes a 5% airdrop only. So those who participated in staking their ETH and contributing this 14 bill of TVL, which pumped up the valuation, which makes everyone froth at the mouth, the fact this has huge TVL. The degens money, primarily, well, the degens only got a 5% airdrop from this. So this is why people are pissed off, because you haven't given people enough of the token, enough of an incentive for all of that staking period that they've got involved with. Also the amounts of ETH people have put over there, the kind of crazy opportunity costs. The market's been pretty crazy in certain aspects, and people who have just been holding their ETH here have got not a lot to show for it. ETH hasn't really moved at all. And then when it comes to actual crunch time, it's a 5% airdrop only. The rest is if you continue to stake with them, presumably like some liquidity mining rewards, like you have to continue to stake with these guys in order to receive the remaining 15%, that additional 10%. And then down the line, potentially, there'll be more community tokens from these community initiatives, but also ecosystem developments. You know, some of these could, if you are a little bit on the pessimistic side, you could say that these are probably more like team tokens overall, or treasury tokens, not so much for the community. Now, according to data from Evo, so the kind of perp price that Eigen's been trading at around $10 would suggest a $17 billion fully diluted valuation. So this would put Eigen around 12th or 13th in the current CoinGecko rankings. So a big protocol, a big launch, and potentially going to be one of the biggest ranked tokens in crypto. And one of the reasons why people are so bullish on ETH is these cool developments are coming, Eigen restaking this whole narrative. And it feels like this narrative has got off to the worst start possible for two reasons, really. They haven't given enough tokens out to the people who made the protocol actually valuable. You need to, in order to garner a good community in crypto, make early participants money, and lots of it. If you do that, you have a very vocal community, and you have people who will just walk through walls to support your cause. But when they feel that they've been diddled out of funds, only getting a 5% airdrop for possibly months and months and months of staking your ETH on Eigen, whilst opportunity cost galore occurred, you know, it leaves the people with a very bad taste. And the other thing to think about as well is that it's not as if this isn't a protocol that could be copied by others, and then you could get a kind of vampire attack of people creating their own version of an Eigen restaking layer, but you make it more community aligned, offer out a huge amount, like say do 75% of tokens to the community, or even 100%. People will vote with their money and move their money to these new places. So I think they really have dropped the ball, and they've overlooked the biggest aspect in crypto, which is community. You cannot fork community, but it seems these VCs just don't understand that. And that is why you have the likes of A16Z and their CTO saying that meme coins are bad, and then trying to say in the same breath that what they've got going on is totally fine. The fact they're going to have a huge amount of supply, bought at a massively discounted seed round, and they're going to unlock and dump it on your head at a later date, probably up 100x plus. In terms of the drop though, May 10th is the date. So if you've staked directly with Eigen Layer, May 10th, you'll be able to claim tokens. If you've used a protocol like Pendle though, there's an even further wait of like 3 to 4 weeks for phase 2. Straight out the gates, 90% of tokens become available. More on that in just a second, but then the further 10% come at a later date here. And there will be a season 2 for the stake drop, that remaining 10% out of the overall 15%. So 5% airdrop for our efforts up to now, 90% and then 10% later. And then season 2, if you wish to continue staking with them, potentially another 10% of tokens whenever that happens. However, within the documentation, also, as the claims begin, Hasaka tweets, tokens will remain non-transferable to allow ample time for decentralization and to foster community consensus regarding the token's utility and governance. As he says, probably going to need another white paper to explain that one. So these tokens are non-transferable. Top line here, certain goals should be accomplished in the coming months before Eigen is made transferable and forkable. So months you're going to have to wait to actually move the tokens. So you've got airdropped a load of tokens, but you can't do anything with them. They're non-transferable tokens. I've never heard this ever. And this is probably the most egregious part of it. You're going to be receiving an airdrop that you can claim, but you can't do a fucking thing with them. You can't sell them. You can't actually realize the gain from all those efforts. You've got to wait a few months. Meanwhile, the investors and early contributors are subject to a total lockup of 3 years. The first year is a complete lock, a cliff. But this is going to start straight away. So say we're locked for 2 months before we can actually transfer our tokens, our Eigen that we've farmed. The countdown on this starts straight away. So they could be vested for 2 months out of the 12, just 10 months left, and we've just received our tokens. And then these guys will get 4% per month for the remaining 2 years afterwards. So I think once their token starts to vest out, this thing is going to be dumped by them. They have a lot of the supply, even at a 4% gradual release there. I think it's going to be quite a stark amount of tokens hitting the markets. Then I think one of the final points that really annoy people is this, the fact that they've geo-blocked tons and tons of countries from actually getting involved. So you can't claim the Eigen token if you're in any of these banned countries. And as this person rightly says, they weren't banned from depositing ETH. So you weren't banned or geo-blocked on the way in, but on the way out to claim tokens, if you've come from any of these countries, which is pretty much North America, pretty much Africa, large amounts of the Middle East, Russia and China. I mean, there's not many largely populated countries left after you've excluded all of these. Well, none of these people are supposed to claim the token. Now, there is a way around it using a VPN and doing inspect elements. There's a few threads people have put together, but you have to jump through hoops in order to actually get your tokens out. And technically, what you'd be doing is wrong according to their T's and C's. But the fact they allowed you to get involved in the first place, you can deposit your ETH. Maybe you put in a good percentage of your portfolio into this to farm. That was fine on the way in, but on the way out, not so much. Now, one bit of alpha at the end here. On DeFi Llama, on the left-hand side, you can see airdrops. Go onto that and you can check your airdrops. There's a button here, check airdrops for addresses. If you just paste in your wallet address, so if you have been staking on Eigen Layer or for any other potential airdrop as well, just paste your wallet in there and it can check for you and it'll let you know. Rather than going to any dodgy websites, potentially getting phished, DeFi Llama has us covered yet again. Absolute chads over there. So I would check via this. And to be honest with you, it may not actually be worth you claiming the Eigen tokens because some people have got very measly amounts. And it's likely that maybe the ETH gas cost versus the actual amount you're going to be receiving may not actually be worthwhile. So did Eigen Layer actually mark a shelling point for the meme coin super cycle here as the VC kind of grift continues? People feel more and more disenchanted with these VC-based tokens, with these huge raises that go on using us as the actual plebs providing the value being extracted from and then not being given enough of a stake in said protocol that we helped to garner. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one. Maybe we're being a little bit too needy here in crypto. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Maybe we should be happy with just the 5%, shut up, take your money, and that's about it. But the fact is you can't even sell the airdrop anyway. So this one has definitely been a bad one, reputation-wise, for ETH mainnet. That's all from this video. See you in the next one. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.